Yeah, I want to talk about, like I said, I feel like I have so many things going on right now, and I do. I just got home late today again. Yeah, yeah. I want to talk about you don't need to feel like I do this a lot, okay? Get me right, I'm not perfect, and I procrastinate a lot, and which is something that really bothers me. And now I'm trying to understand how I can move away from that to start build on myself to become the ideal person that I like to see myself as in the future. And just a little background, I can sit for a long time, hours, and just hours just pass by, and I just sit there and think, dream. And another situation where I procrastinate is when I can work on something, be very excited or whatever. I can get really into it, but then suddenly I just like feel it's that extra, maybe this extra 10% you need to be focused there. Maybe it's more than 10%, but whatever. The extra focus that you need is drifting off, and you feel kind of like, or I feel kind of like, just like, oh, I just want to do something else, or I I want to go, yeah, I just want to do something else. And that's when you really need to stick around. And I know that from personal experience, because if you're only going to act on the spark of emotional motivation, how much work are you really going to get then? You're gonna sit there and wait, like I do sometimes. I'm gonna sit there and wait. Oh, I don't feel like it now. I don't feel like it then. I don't feel like it now. So when am I going to feel like doing it? Just so, yeah, I'm just a bit stressed right now, but this is annoying, to sit there and wait to feel motivated. It doesn't work that way, okay? It doesn't work this way, and I start to get that now. And so what can I do then to move away from procrastination and be really structured, feel the responsibility, and be really productive? Okay, I think that I need to separate this into different categories, so to say. I have obviously my, let's say, schoolwork, or if it's job, you got that, it takes this much time, it just needs to get done. And then when it comes to the spare time or creativity, or go out running, do shopping, make phone calls, make appointments, call friends or whatever, these are the things that sometimes can be procrastinated and moved away and just pushed ahead, which is a bad thing, because I know how it's like to push things ahead. I've done that with, like, whether it's job related, school related, creativity related, creative related, you name it. Talking to or making phone calls to friends or things like that. Okay, I've had enough now. I came to a realization not too long time ago, a few weeks maybe, or maybe longer time, but now I'm getting way better. At least I'd like to believe I do. I really think I am getting better. And I I've mentioned in another video that I sort of disconnect myself, or I stay out of my emotions. I move out from my emotions, because emotions for me is, if you're feeling good or if you feel in a specific way, the emotions will spark your motivation, okay? And that can work. It's not very reliable. It isn't reliable, and that's what I mean by not acting on emotions which will make you motivated. I hope you catch my drift, because this is crucial in order to get things done that have been pushed ahead, you know. So yeah, I like to structure this down now, okay? And yeah, just by saying, I just want to say that I felt the urge to make this video now, you know, because I, yeah, I do have a lot of things in my life right now. The whole days are filled, and I'm not just gonna talk about myself like that, but I came home, you know, go shopping, working out, stay creative, I mean, work on music, for example, in my situation, or come home, cook, work on the resume, think about job, what is gonna happen in the future. Okay, those are the things that usually would make me feel like, I wouldn't say I used to victimize myself, but I used to feel this heavy dread, just like uh, worried, and just, I mean, I got my act together, you know, I got my senses back together. No, I got my act together, and I realized that I can sit in the driver's seat, which is an amazing thing, because there was so many there been such a long time when I was just sitting in the passenger seat, watching everyone else, see how I just saw what they accomplished, you know. I know I'm drifting a little bit side roads here, but I just want to say this, bring this up, because it's important, and it's important to, and it will make I will make a connection with procrastination later on. You know, I realized that sitting by the passenger seat isn't gonna do you no good. You're just gonna sit and see, as I did, the way I saw it. I saw other people's accomplishments, and I saw where they are, and I just saw the results. I just saw the tip of the iceberg. Oh man, you know, so foolish. It was so foolish, and it made me feel so bad, and I stressed myself out because of that. And I tell you that, speaking of procrastination, you know, never stress yourself out to the point where you will burn yourself out, because I think partly I had a kind of a really tough time earlier, beginning of this year, you know. And it was because I procrastinated, was it because I stressed myself out when I saw other people's accomplishments and the results. I didn't see the long rough way there for them. I just saw myself what I did not have, and saw what other people they did have, and I saw myself as just sitting in the passenger seat with no real direction. And I just had this kind of energy, this strong force within me, which I still have, and I love that. I just saw, where were I? Yeah, I just saw that the other people's, and I was just like, what direction do I take? I mean, I just see what can I do to accomplish that, and I was still sure I was creative. I've been a creative long time, and I have a real goal within me. But then in this yeah, this summer, basically I guess, yeah, after this summer something changed, and I realized that I don't need to listen to my critical self, and I don't need to sit in the passenger seat. I don't need to be a perfectionist. Sure, I'm still going to be, I guess I always be a perfectionist, but it's not to the point where I limit my outburst or my productivity to let loose, you know, to create a work. Sure, I am very perfectionistic in my work, but it's not to the point where I stop myself all the time. There's still tendencies of that. I work on that, but I still let I try to float along, you know. And because I realize that I am in the passenger seat of my own life, So I don't need to procrastinate. I didn't maybe tie this together so well, but anyway, this is how it turned out, you know. Nothing needs to be perfect. Be perfection, be really self-critic still. Be perfectionistic, but not to the point where it stresses you out and make you scared to jump into your creative force and let it take shape, you know, and being too concerned about small details. This is great thing, okay? Imagine you're writing a paper, I don't know. Imagine you're writing a short story, 10,000 words, for example, and you just get it done. You get into it, you get it done. So you maybe do, let's say you write 2,000 words in 1 day or 2 days. Yeah. And if it's later on during the editing, you figure out that maybe the 500 words was worth of keeping. Right? Great. You have 500 words there. But not during the writing. Imagine if you just gonna sit there and procrastinate because you're scared of not taking action and not just letting go, letting loose. That is a little bit my realization nowadays, I think. To just, because what I do, what I create is from my perspective, is from my personality, is from my own person, is from my small ingredients and my characteristics, which makes me who I am, and this is a representation of that. And also a work by itself, which I sort of disconnected myself from when it's done, you know. But still, nobody doing that thing that you're doing, you know. And that is what's so beautiful about create things and just do your thing. See yourself as worthy, and I mean a lot. You know, you are worthy a lot. What you've got, nobody else got that. Sure, not in any kind of narcissistic shape or form, but be worthy. Present yourself to the world as you would like to be seen. Don't be that too hard. Don't be too hard on yourself to the point where it becomes destructive, you know, and always feeling that it's so miserable that I didn't accomplish this now. The deadline is already out. Yeah, it's bad, okay, but then it's really time to shape up, I guess. I believe it's a good idea to have sort of weekly goals. You know what I said about writing the novel or anything. Try to break it down, and I don't have really any. I guess I could write on my whiteboard now, but I think this is the best way you figure out yourself. What is the best way for me to to create this goal that I have in my mind that I like to accomplish within the end of the year, for example, you know. Yeah, only you really know how to do that, and if you want to do it, you will do it. And then the last thing that I wanted to say is that actually there were two things. First off, just yeah, very long video again, okay. This is my style, I guess, you know. I try to express myself. I want to connect to you. I hope it gives you something, all right? I really do. And I love to hear your thoughts. It's great. I try to answer as many comments as I can. I try to answer them all, actually, I do. Yeah, you know. But yeah, the last thing I wanted to say, actually I wanted to say this first also. And yeah, this is kind of personal. It is very personal, but yeah, since like I have faith, and since I don't know, doesn't matter when, but I sort of, the way I try to not procrastinate and the way I move away from that is because I have found this kind of, I will try to explain this as best as good as I can. I found kind of a place within myself which is a peaceful place, and it's, yeah, To make it easy, I think we could say just I feel I need to give a piece of myself through some creative force. Like I made a commitment to God, we could say, to make it more understandable, but I think it's more complicated than that, because this is not by any means some kind of established God figure religion or whatever like that. It's more of place that like is very very calm, and yeah, I don't need to get into that, but what I mean is that I think it's good to try to be able to stand out yourself in the way of that we need to give. Okay, I have this responsibility, and I have the spirits, my spirit, and that connection to this beautiful, faithful or sacred place, let's say God, and that is a way to, that connection is very helpful when you realize I have this commitment to give piece of myself, which may come out as any creative way, because is based on beauty, and I think we need beauty in the world. I know that I do. I need beauty and I need meaning, and I want to give that because I think that the world we need to give more. We can't live in greed and jealousy and just like objects, materialism, and I mean by there's more to the picture, there is nothing like you are nothing. We are so shallow. I mean, we are so small and we are so weak, and this kind of to be in a way that like you just build your social status hierarchy on these kind of things, it's destructive. And there is a bigger place within ourselves which is on another kind of level outside the physical and these things that I mentioned, like greed, jealousy. There are greater forces within ourselves which can actually contribute or can produce or create beautiful forces or beautiful things, beautiful works, I should say, and which should be shown for the world, given to the world, in order to inspire and to connect. So that's what I mean about we shouldn't procrastinate, because we have this that's the way I feel, at least. I have a higher purpose, and yeah, feel good when I think about that. And the place I'm at now, I want to be open, I want to be meaningful to people, I want to be seen as a happy person, which I am. I want to be loyal, yeah. So that I think is very important, and we should all think about that more. So the last thing is, I noticed with myself that is when I stick to completing and finish things and not push them forward, even if it's things that really makes me want to push them forward, but I go through with it. I just go through with them, and I feel like a beast, I feel like a king when I'm in that flow where I just take things step by step and draw a line over some things that have been I had to take care of for a while, and I just point it off, next thing, point it off, and go on like that. It's a great boost, okay? Yeah, I hope this video was good, though it did turn out long, but yeah, I already said these kind of things. It was very unstructured, I was very stressed, I came home late, I haven't had lunch. Yeah, I did have lunch, but I haven't had dinner since, yeah, maybe since, yeah, I didn't eat for many hours, you know, so I'm a bit slow now. So it was hard to make this video. It feels like I could just keep on talking, but yeah, I won't do that because that's boring. Yeah, I have more good things coming for people like you. I like to express myself to you, and I am excited for the future, and I love to be alive, and I love the beauty around me, and yeah, it's good to talk with you and good to connect with you, alright? So yeah, I see you in the next video, and you have a great day. I'm Tom. Goodbye.